the one thing I have for you guys watching and listening is simply this. You need to dig down deep and ask yourself, do you truly believe in yourself? Because if you do not believe in yourself, it doesn't matter what I say on the air, you are going to be fucking stuck, and not just say it, but feel it in your soul. That is the cheat code.
I can listen to podcasts all day or read books or listen to public speaking and all. None of that shit matters.
None. You have to change internally for any real external change to happen. There has to be a growth pattern. Like where I am right now is not going to cut it for the next level. Cool. I'm done now.
We made it.
We made it.
We're good.
Like this is freaking Disneyland.
Yeah.
No. It's a constant push to get better.
Shawn French, what up? This one luck, I let the pain inspire me. I put my all in everything I'm doing. Up until it's done, I'm me for the entirety. I put in overtime, I be working. Just know I'ma go for mine, cause I earned it. They watching, I know it's time. I confirmed it. A whole society determined success.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Determined Society. I am your host, Shawn French. Thanks for watching. Before I introduce my two amazing guests this morning, I want to ask you, if this is the first time you are listening or watching this episode, please subscribe on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts. Leave an amazing review, and hey, share the episode with someone that you know, love, and trust. Today, I have a great treat for you guys. I got two individuals here that are absolute badasses here in Norfolk, Virginia. I have LJ Hunt and Julian Rivera. They work out of Iron Valley in Norfolk, and they have an amazing culture. We're here to talk about their journey today and their company. So, boys, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us.
What's up, Shawn?
Dude, chilling, man. Those push-ups are fun.
That gets the blood flowing, gets you like right in them headspace. Even if you had a workout this morning, it's just like, just love it.
Do you know what's crazy this morning, guys? So, I get up and my team was telling me, hey, don't get up till 5, you need to sleep. My eyes opened at like 2:30 in the morning. Finally went back to sleep, and then I was like, fuck, I just got up at 4, right? Like normal. Go down the gym or up to the gym for like an hour and 15 minutes, man. I had that place to myself.
So when
nice.
It was cool, man.
Yeah.
It was cool. I'm like thinking the whole time, I'm like, man, I remember, when going on the road, I would bring my workout stuff and I would never go.
Right.
And now it's like today was a non-negotiable for me, right? And I was there, and that kind of discipline really, helps throughout the whole day.
Yeah.
You make that first tough decision, guys. It's, it always helps. So anyway, tell me about you. Let's start with LJ. LJ, tell the audience about yourself a little bit, briefly, kind of give the background, how you came to Iron Valley, maybe your past, and, we'll do the same thing with our boy Julian here, and then we'll get down and dirty.
Well, I'm a local here in the area, Hampton Roads area. My family kind of got pieced together. So my mother's from Boston, my dad's from here.
Mm-hmm.
Grandparents from Akron, Ohio came because of the military.
Mm-hmm.
Then, talking about myself is not the best thing that I do, man. I'm not going to tell you. So, long story short, man, I was in the hospitality business for 2 decades. So my most recent job, if you will, before I went into real estate was with Yard House. So I was
the truffle fries are
the best. I got the recipe if you want it.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I have a lot of those recipes.
There we go.
But COVID hit.
Mm-hmm.
So COVID was a real challenging time for everybody. Obviously, you had essential employees doing just basically the essentials, right? So we laid off everybody except for the management team. Mm-hmm. So managers were opening the building, running the kitchen, cleaning up, like just the whole nine to go, like just trying to keep the business together.
Mm-hmm.
Then we opened back up, social distancing, and just kind of everything that was going on. And long story short, man, I had enough of it. So I had to change. I had been working 12-hour days, 7 days a week for an eternity, it felt like. And the old principal broker of the Hampton Roads and Iron Valley used to come in, obviously before everything shut down. And he was trying to get me into real estate all the time. You got the personality for it. You can do it. Like, you're a local. You got all these connections. Like, you would love it. So when things started kind of happening, it was like, all right, well, maybe I'll make this move. And then obviously I got to my breaking point and I said, all right, I'm going to do it. So I went all in, man.
That's great.
Seriously, all in. I drained my 401k. I quit my job. I took the test in November of 2020. Didn't get technically licensed until January of 2021. 15th, just a couple of days ago, was my 4-year anniversary.
Congratulations.
And then just
took off.
Yeah.
What was some of the things that held you back, or that, when you start talking about it, right? Because there's a level of fear, right? I would say probably of, okay, I'm in the hospitality business for 20 years. And now this gentleman is saying that I would be great in real estate. What, that in between, when you were hesitating, or not even hesitating, before you pulled the trigger, was there some sort of fear or kind of a mindset thing that you were battling with for you?
Absolutely.
What was that?
I mean, I think it's with anybody that's got the old JOB, really. It's the first thing is really believe in yourself. I didn't realize it, but investing in yourself just in general is something that we don't do.
Yeah.
You live in paycheck to paycheck or just getting paid by somebody else. You don't have that self-confidence that you would normally have, especially if you're an entrepreneur or a business person. So I've realized, I was always taking care of other people, whether, of course, my family, the team members, the people in the kitchen, the guests that were coming in. And I wasn't really taking care of myself.
Yeah.
And probably didn't even realize that until maybe a year or so in. And you were just talking, about how you woke up and went to the gym and all those sort of things. Like I do the same thing, but my gym's in my house, and I literally just have a bench and some dumbbells, and it's my alone time.
I need you to talk to my wife.
Okay.
I really want a home gym.
Yeah. I mean, it's amazing because it's about time as well. Like I don't have to drive to the gym. I don't have to get dressed. I don't have to do anything. Like I literally wake up, I have my coffee, I have my water, do a little meditation, relax, pump some iron, and I'm done for the day. Then I can.
How help you operate through your day?
Clarity.
The thing.
It's the worst, man. Like you are tired when you wake up.
Yeah.
But just a little bit of water, a little hydration, relaxed.
I feel like that point right there, like when your alarm goes off and you don't want to get up and go do the hard shit, right? If we give into that, inner voice that says, don't do it. And, our brain is wired to keep us safe from anything, right? And it doesn't want to take that risk. It wants to feel comfortable. But when we decide to take that move, no matter what we feel emotionally, and go do the workout, right? Have the water, have the coffee. And then no matter how bad we feel at that moment right there, we just start moving our body.
Yeah.
And then after 10 minutes, like you forget that you didn't even want to be there.
Yep.
And now your next decision that's supposed to be hard becomes easy because you've already set the tone for the fucking discipline. It's so important. Everybody thinks like waking up in the morning, at 4 a.m. and going to the gym is a flex for social media. That's bullshit. What it is for me, I have 3 children and a wife. I don't want to take time away from them. Yep. I want to knock it out, and I want to be able to get to my house by, 6:15, help the kids get out the door, make their breakfast and their lunches and their snacks and all that kind of stuff. Make my wife's coffee, make sure that the car's packed so she can, take them to school, right? Knowing that I've completed more than most people are going to complete their whole fucking day.
You're just in a good mood.
Yeah.
Like when I do it, I'm just happy. I'm like, all right, let's do this. Yeah, this is awesome.
Crazy. Yeah, it's true. My man, LJ.
It's because I'm the DJ. That's why. DJ.
No, it is. That's why. It is why. Talk about yourself, man. You have another like interesting part of you that I want to highlight too, man. You do a lot of cool shit.
I do some cool stuff. I will say I'm very blessed. I like to say that. But LJ always jokes me because I say I'm from here, born and raised, but I wasn't really from New York. But I came here when I was 3 and I never left. So I'm really from here. So I go to New York. I don't know the subway system. I get lost. So I feel you're not a local unless you know how to get to X, Y, Z.
Freedom map,
right?
Just like one of the raps.
He always dogs me, but it's always for the better of me. It's confusing. Or they take a taxi, but it's $20 for a block. But anyways, so yeah, I'm a DJ and a realtor. So I call myself the DJ realtor here. So been here since literally forever. Been DJing since high school, back when there was, the old thing called vinyls. Remember that? Yeah. I remember vinyls all day. So I was a young guy hanging out with the older guys in the club. Not because I wanted to go to the club. I wanted to see them work. I wanted to see, it was an instrument to me. It's like someone playing guitar. Turntablism is an instrument to me. So I was the young guy hanging out with the older guys, where the OGs now are out of the game.
Right.
So I had the old school flair with the new school vibe. That's what I like to say.
Yeah.
So now I've been doing that for a while, and that's always been my passion. Yeah. Music's been my love. And I had one main goal that I wanted to accomplish in this market, and it was to be on the radio station that I grew up listening to. And I did it for 10 years. So with this, my radio show having on there, I was there on all 4 stations. I called myself the chameleon DJ because it doesn't matter if it was a Caucasian room, an African-American room, Hispanic room, a combination room. I can vibe with everybody. Yeah. So I was able to be on all the stations, which helped me out. But it allowed me, and I say this a lot, to get in the room. Yep. That was my main thing. That was that was my one like ticket in there. Whether I felt like I was qualified or not, I knew somebody needed entertainment. Somebody needed to have something to keep the vibe going. And I used to not like being on the mic. I used to be like, really? No, I don't like this. I just want to DJ. Because back in the day, it was a DJ and an MC. Yeah. The MC's out there doing it while the DJ's working on this. Sure. But it's because they had to worry about the vinyls, the doubles, the tracking, being able to flow. Now you can do both. You just add more hats because technology helped out. So when that 08, 09 technology boom happened for the DJ world, that just made me more of an open format DJ. Okay, so now I can go from the Jay-Z to the Katy Perry to the Calvin Harris to the Migos and back and make it sound like the Endless soundtrack is supposed to be. Did that for a long time. One of my late mentors, Tim Mayer, I met him at the radio station. In radio and TV, you have 3 main departments. You have your programming, which is your talent. Everyone is on the radio doing it. You have your marketing, everyone running the marketing, the concerts, the events, the radio remotes, and then you have your sales. Sales is what drives the entire ship. Without sales, you don't have the other 2 departments. That's just what it is. They kept trying to get me to come to sales. I'm like, no, dude, I'm good. I'm fine. Like, I'm having fun over here. I'm running the marketing department. I called myself the entreployee for a long time because I had my other businesses that I'm running on the side while doing this. And it was great for a long time. But he kept pushing me in a very polite way. At the time, I didn't realize this, but he was really good at making somebody stronger at what they're already good at. He never tried to focus on your weaknesses, at least out the gate. And he was always the #1 sales manager every quarter just because he related with people better. So long story short, I ended up moving over to the sales side, aka the dark side. But it was a really big reason. I was making good money doing what I was doing, but I was writing it all off. So what couldn't I get by doing that? A house. And I need to get a house because, fun fact, I have 5 kids. You do? I know, I look good. It's crazy. It's I know. It's like, it doesn't even look like you had one. Exactly. That's the goal here. That's why we got to stay in shape. That's why we do push-ups before the show. My oldest just turned 21 on Wednesday. Wow. Yeah. So 21 and then 19, 16, and then I have 8 and 3. Talk about an age gap. Whoa. Right. So when you're talking about being determined, yes, that's my why. That's why I do what I do in my way. I have an amazing wife, Myra, of being together for almost 14 years. We're finally having our wedding in a week and a half too, by the way. Congrats. So but the whole thing behind that is that we wanted to get a house, right? We were renting, we were growing up, whatever the case may be. So I jumped over there, get documented income. I slayed it over there better than I thought I was going to do, but that was me not, like you were saying, the confidence. It wasn't to that level I thought I had, but it was there. Yeah. I just needed somebody to get it out of me, which boom, happened. Killed it every year. Breaking goals. This is when digital marketing started becoming huge. That was my forte. Yeah. So I really went heavy into that in the social media realm. Fast forward a few years, I opened a few more businesses while still working here. But I was like, you know what? One thing I realized by talking to all these business owners, bro, the only thing that differentiated them between me and them, they believed in themselves. They went for it. Yeah. They went all in. Yeah. On a few of your episodes, I always hear you talking about going all in, being laser focused, or just doing that, regardless of what guest or whoever that you have. So I decided I'm going to go all in. So I developed a plan to retire from corporate America in January of 2020. That was my plan, but I made that plan in 2019. And I've met with an individual, one of my clients at the time, that turned out to be one of my best friends to this day, and still one of my business partners, that we just developed a plan. I knew that I wanted to get out that way. Boom, did it. Got out. January 31st, 2020. What happened the next month? The world caught on fire. You see what I'm saying? Like, yes. Talk about holy shit. Dude. Right? But the plan was, I was a co-owner of, at the time, a pizza restaurant that I just had to help with marketing. And I was going to get my license. And I was going to go all in on real estate because I started realizing that's something I know I could do. Right. But I didn't know the world was going to effing end. Right? But we also didn't know what was going to happen with real estate. Nobody could have forecasted what was going to happen in a positive realm in the real estate world, right? Sure. So luckily, LJ, it took him like 2 months to get the license. It took me 6 to 7 months to get my license because everything was shut down. Yeah. I mean, I had to drive to DC or Northern Virginia, to take a test that I failed by 1 question, by the way. And then I had to retake it again. And it was just a lot of waiting, hurry up and wait. There's a lot of like the adversity, right? There was a lot of starts and stops from what I'm hearing. And what's funny too, and I want you to go back, but I want to address the audience really quickly. So, we're talking about the whole journey, right, of going into entrepreneurship and leaving corporate America. I think so many people
right around the height of COVID did that because it was that reset. Like, it was so unfortunate what happened to so many people, man. Lives were lost.
Yes.
You know, no matter what side of the fence you sit on, it still really freaking sucked. No matter how you look at it, it was just a bad time, you know, but also it was a time for everybody to kind of reevaluate what they wanted out of their lives. And the one thing I have for you guys watching and listening is simply this. The biggest difference between entrepreneurs and what Julian was asking was the fact that they had a high level belief in themselves. So whatever you're going through right now, you need to dig down deep and ask yourself, do you truly believe in yourself? Because if you do not believe in yourself, it doesn't matter what I say on the air or what my unbelievable guests are saying, you are going to be fucking stuck unless you can seriously get that believability in you and not just say it, but feel it in your soul.
Yep.
Right? That is the cheat code. And from then, you know, in the sales training, that's basically what my whole thing is on. And then know your key performance indicators. Know what you have to do daily in order to move the football down the field a little bit, right? But always execute. But start with the belief, man. And that's what you guys have done. That's what you did. That's what you did. And it's just, I'm loving the brand story of Iron Valley in general, because I started in COVID.
Right. 4 years ago, right?
Yeah, dude, it was wild. It was wild. So anyway, I'm sorry, dude. I just felt appropriate to highlight what you were saying to the audience so they could really dig down and you know, feel that self-reflection of like, okay, do I really believe I can do this?
Yeah.
I really think that when you talk about motivation, just in general, you've got extrinsic motivation, you've got intrinsic motivation. Extrinsic really doesn't matter unless it builds up your intrinsic motivation. So being able to believe in yourself is where it's at. So I can listen to podcasts all day or read books or listen to public speaking and all. None of that shit matters.
None.
Unless it changes you somehow inside so that you wake up every morning and you start believing yourself. You start taking those things and making them your own. And that's where the switch gets flipped.
That you hit the nail on the head, LJ, is like, you know, you have to change internally for any real external change to happen, right? So if we're, you know, building our bodies back up, right? Getting in good shape, right? If we're trying to build a business or we're W-2 in a sales organization, you are never going to sell and you're never going to excel if you don't change internally. There has to be a growth pattern, because if not, you're just the same cat.
Yeah.
And the same cat ain't going to get it done.
No.
Like where I am right now is not going to cut it for the next level. I have to grow. And so do you guys. It's not a never ending thing. Okay, cool. I'm done now.
We made it.
We made it.
We're good.
Like this is freaking Disneyland.
Yeah.
No. It's a constant push to get better.
Yep. And I mean, like LJ, he had a tipping point, you know, during COVID. You know, my tipping point, I was pre-planning and then COVID happened, but it was the same time frame. You know, we all got smacked in the face during that time. And we just decided to go all in on this fun game we call real estate.
Yeah.
So prior to that, you know, I was kind of already in real estate, buying some houses and like renting them, but nothing crazy. But I understood the game a little bit, not from a more so helping clients fulfill the ultimate American dream, because that's still the dream of homeownership. I don't care what anyone says. So at the end of the day, now we're at a place, fast forward from 2020 to 2025. It's crazy to say it's 2025 still. We've just gotten to a place now we really had to grow. So what's the next level? So we did a bunch of years, and I can speak for LJ on this one. LJ just kicks ass, by the way. Let me just stop real quick. He hates talking about himself because he's so effing good. And I say that, and not in a cocky way. I respect this man so much in what he does, but he's the silent ninja. Or I'm the boisterous, let's go. Like I'll talk and I'll keep it going because I enjoy the storytelling of it. But his story is so unique because he was kicking ass in an industry that was already having a lot of controlled chaos and running an environment with a system related goal at the end of the day. He just took that and placed it in real estate and slays it. Like seriously,
badass.
He does the exact same thing he was doing there, just in a way that helps him control a lot more his family's futures, and more importantly, his family's future.
I like this. And the one thing that I'll say that I love is the fact that you are lifting your boy up right now.
It's true.
Men don't do that. Men don't do that. You know, I'm sorry. That's a generalization. Most men aren't doing that.
Right.
They see that as a threat. Where I like to be exactly where you're at, Julian, is like, I want to edify my people. I want to say this dude or this girl, they are badasses and they are amazing. I want to ask you a question though. What? Yeah. What do you think's the key? What do you think the key determinant is? Like, you're the silent ninja. Great. You kick ass. But why? Like, what is it about you that can do that? Because I have my own idea, but I want to hear.
What is it about? Like me?
Yeah.
Like my own, it's my care for people, flat out. It's just because like, that's where I really started to make the shift, was out of the hospitality.
Mm-hmm.
You got to the general manager position, and it's about the numbers, and it's about the business, how many butts you've got in seats, and what your food cost is, and labor, and P&L, and all this.
Razor thin margin.
Just everything. So yeah, you talk about razor thin.
Yeah, bro.
Absolutely. Even in our labor market. And it just really, we used to say it's about the people, but you can't really touch 500 people that come into, the restaurant at a given time. You can try and teach your people in order to do that. And I just felt like that I'd lost the connection between actually changing people's lives, right? You go, hey, happy birthday, here's a brownie, whatever.
Yeah.
Now I literally get to, here's your brownie, here's your birthday song, like whatever. But now when I get a phone call from a past client or, a lead from the internet or whatever it is, like I'm getting ready to help them purchase a home, the proverbial, American dream. There's a easy way to do it, and that's with knowledge and comfort and low stress. And then there is a very challenging way to do it. Realtors just in general have a bad rap in the industry because of how much money we make or whatever it is. But if you're doing it the right way, it's so gratifying for the people and for me itself. So I've grown from being able to do that with my clients to still doing it with my clients, but also now teaching agents how to do it properly and teaching others how to focus on their business so that they can do it, so that they can teach more people. So I'm getting to the point now where it's like I'm spiderwebbing everything that I can do for more people and actually touching more lives and helping more people. And I think that's where it burns from more than anything after that.
My answer was going to be service.
Yeah.
Right? You're serving the people, and it's the same answer, right? And that's why I kind of smiled when you said you care for people. Like, I find that most successful entrepreneurs actually give a shit about human beings. Like, if you just chase the number, and we've all done it at one point, right? Like, I'm guilty as shit of it, right? Like, I got to sell this amount. Here's my quota. We got to get it. But what I've found now is that when I operate at a place of love and respect and the care for others, and I'm just here to give and give and give, it's funny how things boomerang back around. And a lot of times it's not that specific situation with that person, but you're like infinitely blessed in another area that comes into that circle, right? And then yes, you do capitalize. You do end up making a lot of money, but it's not because you're out there grinding and, like Wolf of Wall Street boiler room stuff. Like, you're showing the people who you really are, and who we really are is, service-driven men. That's what we're here on this earth. We're here to serve.
Yeah, you talked about the KPIs, and people focus on the volume in the real estate industry, and volume to me is just noise. Yeah. That's all it is. Sure. It's about how many families we help. Yeah. Period. Like, we're a transaction-based company, and I think that that's one of the reasons Iron Valley has grown so fast. Is it's like, I don't care about the $10 million home or whatever it is. Yeah, great. If I get one of those, awesome. But I care about how many families I can help, how many agents I can teach how many families to do it the right way, because that's what ultimately matters. Because again, taking care of the people. So that's where I kind of came up with that volume is just noise, because if my KPI is $30 million in sales volume, like how many people do you have to help? How many families do you have to help? How many houses do you have to sell?
Yeah, I think it's, LJ, it's a great point. I think it's so important to focus on just the people. Like, if we look at the number, it's like looking up at Mount Everest. Like, there's no shot I'm getting way up there.
Yeah.
But if you just take that step and start moving a little bit, like, my goal is to help families. And the more families you can touch and help, then the number's going to take care of itself. And I always say that's like staying in your process, right? And again, at sales training, that's what I'm gonna talk about. It's like staying within the process. In sales, you have to have your KPIs. You don't have your KPIs if you don't understand how long it takes you, or how many calls, or how many times you canvass to get an actual real lead, to get a listing or a buyer, then how the hell are you ever going to know what you need to do to hit those goals and those numbers that you need to. But it's also important to understand that you cannot live and die on that.
Nope.
It has to be, how can I impact people? Like if we make it just about us, we will never get to where we want to get.
Those are those lead measures that lead to the lag measures, that lead to the KPIs. Like you can't put a number on how many phone calls do I have to make in order to sell this many homes. You don't know. It could be 1,000, it could be 3.
Yeah.
So those lead measures, that everyday process of making those phone calls, selling those, the homes, sending the emails, sending the text messages, posting on social media, having those conversations.
Yeah,
like you can't figure out the ROI on that. You have to say, all right, well, my lag measure, if I want to sell 12 homes this year, the first quarter, I want to sell 3.
Yeah.
Because that would be where I'm at. So I might not sell any in January and February, but I might sell 3 in March.
Yep.
And I might sell 8 in April and then none in, the next couple of months. So you have to take it as it comes, but make sure that you're continually being consistent, being disciplined with what you bought.
Yeah, I agree, man. And the big thing, guys, I want to ask you is, if people just focus on that activity and let that be the journey or the reward, those results are going to come quicker. Because when you focus on this isn't working, or like a quid pro quo, right? Mm-hmm. Well, if I make this many calls this week, then I'm gonna get X in return. No, bad move, man. What are your thoughts about that, Julian?
Well, a lot of the time I've been saying this for a while, it's if the client wins, you win by default. I don't care what that win looks like, but understanding that if you're doing right by the people, in theory, karma pays you back tenfold. Mm-hmm. But the more you do it, the more you might get good karma. Yeah. And that could be health, wealth, or a mix of everything in between. In theory, in real estate, we're talking about this. Obviously, if you sell, you get paid. But again, like LJ's saying, it's about who you're serving. Yeah. Because the biggest compliment, in my opinion, is a referral. It's been like that since day one when it comes down to DJing, real estate, or any other businesses. I operate my entire DJ business by referral. And we still operate to this day. And like last year, I did 112 gigs myself and booked over 200 for my company. That's just the DJ world. That's not even including real estate. So
off to the side, by the way, it's just,
this is when I say we do this, like we do this, but it's not a flex. It's more of a thank you, because they allow us to help create those memories. Because
20 in units in the Hampton Roads area, that guy over there, just so you know.
Amazing.
That's just real estate. So but like LJ has taken his systems and processes and just what he's learned and put it in real estate. It's the same thing I've done from the entertainment world. So weddings, real estate, I use this a lot. There's 3 very important memories people have. Usually when you get married, when you buy or sell a house, and when you have a baby. Yep. And I can help with 2 of those 3 things, because I'm not going to help people deliver babies. I tell that all the time. But with that,
I can't be there for that.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'm not getting my doctorate. Sorry, ladies. But with those 2 things, it coincides because it's a memory. Yep. They're going to remember you, either you suck or you slayed it. There's really no middle ground. So as long as I know we can deliver and they win, by default we win. And what's that win look like outside of just getting compensated? Probably another referral, probably a good review online, probably them just talking good about yourself, or like, no, I know him too. Yeah, I was a good guy. Yeah. That goes further than anything to me, because your reputation is specifically, I'm pretty sure in any market, but in this market, since it's the biggest, smallest market in the country, as we call it here, and it's a very transient market. Yeah, we lose and gain 300,000 people every year because of the military, give or take. Coming in and out of the market, and if we're affecting lives that are now traveling all over the place in some way, shape, or form, I can't tell you how many times somebody in San Diego or Arkansas or whatever the hell refers someone to me because I helped them while they were here. Whether I helped them with a house, an event, or I was just nice to them.
Love it, man. It's so funny too. And like, I want to get your guys' feedback on it. I always look at it like this. And my manager, who's one of my best friends now, my old manager at Paychex, he is my district sales manager. He brought me in there. He took a chance on me. It took me from, coaching baseball and teaching and making like maybe 40 grand a year. And I turned into one of the top salespeople in the country at Paychex. And there's like 2,000 of them in that division, right? It was a small to mid-sized business division. We call it SMB. And he taught me at an early point in my career there. He goes, no one gives a shit how much you know until they know how much you care. And then I looked at that. I'm like, that's a great quote. And I can see that. But I want to take it a step further, and I want to add, and I always thought this, like, how are these business owners going to walk away feeling after every interaction with me? How do I make them feel?
Yeah.
And if you can make someone feel special, and not because you have an agenda, but genuinely like cast such an amazing light and amazing conversation and care towards them, that when they walk away from you, they're like, I really like that dude. I feel comfortable with them. I trust them.
Yep.
And
Trust and value.
That's it. It's it.
That's the formula, is literally trust and value. That's what a referral is. A referral is somebody that trusted and valued what you did for them enough to say, hey, here's my buddy Julian, right? He's going to take care of you buying a house. Because I trust and value everything that he does. So if you can get somebody to trust and value,
Right.
that's how you continue on.
Yeah, man. It's interesting to me. I just find a lot of people, you know, they forget that side of it. You know, they forget that, you know, we're not entitled to success. We're not entitled to the sale. We're not entitled to grow. We are entitled the right to choose. That's it. And if we choose the right path daily, right, in growing that trust and value with people, man, you know, the world, so to speak, is our oyster, you know. And the one thing that drives me crazy is when people want it right now. It doesn't happen like that, man.
I am close.
Guys, it's like, you know, you don't know when it's going to happen. There's been some dark ass times in this show, you know, and you're listeners, so you probably heard me talk about them.
Yeah.
Like there's a point, like after 3 years, I'm like, I think this show is this. Analytics are telling me the opposite. Do I tuck my tail between my legs, pack my shit up and go home? Or do I elevate? So I decided I have to take more risks. And I remember talking to my wife. This show started with an iPhone in a car. Now we're in the den and I'm doing it virtually and having someone edit it, right? And I can't control any of the factors. I can't control someone else's camera, can't control their sound. But if I'm going to take this to the next level, then I got to get the hell out of the house and I need some live. I need some one-on-one. I need some in-person shit. And from that point, you know, I did that, you know, in June of this year. And then my show went through some growing pains. And then right around September, we hit that stride. We hit that stride where, oh my God, like we're on now. We're on. It's like more people are paying attention. More people are sharing. More people that are coming into the sphere. I'm like, how can I listen to this? Like what? Like I'm seeing the clips. Like this is great. But it was done because it took a risk. And I think that's another great point, right? We talk about, you know, karma. We talk about the process. We talk about everything. But I think one of the most important factors is taking that calculated risk. I went from, you know, paying, you heard this on the solo show.
Yeah.
My show I used to pay $110 an episode to edit. Now, I'm paying, you know, 4 figures every single month for all of it. And until I made that decision, I didn't have that revenue. The moment I decided to make that move, then the show started generating some damn money.
Well, you had to start monetizing, like you were saying.
Yeah.
Monetizing the show, you know, it takes not everybody, some faster, some longer, but the average on a business is getting to a point, 3 years of sucking, like for better, you know, just sucking in general, of sucking it and making it make sense to get to that point of, I finally fucking made it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And they're not necessarily sucking in that way. It's more so eating shit, learning, failing, moving forward, failing first attempt and learn again. And then now you're finally here, but you had to monetize to get there. And then you say, you're not going to hear ads. You can hear some premium ads because we're finally at this place where we need to get this show to the next level, really because the audience is asking for it. Yeah. If the analytics are there and it's stating that you're going to be growing, then this is what we need to do to grow.
Dude, it's so wild, man.
That's literally what it is.
Yeah, it's literally what it is. And you know, I know the listeners, like some people, like they really hate ads. Like, I just want to listen to the show.
Right.
Well, listen, guys, I just want to be honest. Is when we have a show like this and the production value and the scale that we want to be, like we need revenue to do this and to make it better for you, right? And so yeah, we have some ads going. We have I've heard Amazon Prime on there. I've heard, you know, Lululemon on there. I've heard Walmart.
Right.
I've heard McDonald's, and I don't like that. We got to fix that. But that's big for the show.
Yeah.
And I think that I always say new level, new devil, right? And soon there's going to be host read ads, and you're going to be hearing my voice read them off. But I have a guy that's out there hunting those for me, and so we've figured out a system. And this is the next point that I want you guys to speak on is I've elevated my systems to a point where I'm doing so many different things. I could be sitting there sleeping and I'm making money on my show.
Yep.
I could be sleeping in my teams editing a show, right? I could be sitting there on a phone call with one of you guys at 10 a.m. and my post goes out because my team does that for me.
Yep.
I interact. Okay. I'm the one, typing and replying and everything like that. But and now while I'm doing all that stuff, or when I'm hanging out with my kids, my other part of my team is selling ad spots. We don't rise to the level of our goals. We fall to the levels of our systems. So how important are systems for you guys as realtors and then everybody else in this office?
Well, I'll say this, and I'm going to throw the ball to you, LJ. So LJ is a systems guy.
Shocker.
He's deflecting again.
Begun. We're a really good yin and yang, and this kind of also evolves to like where Iron Valley, Norfolk came from, because the guys developed a really strong, let's just call it system here in the area that has grown, I think, faster than anybody did. But again, this was birthed during COVID, right? It's either there was really no middle ground. It's either you were here or here in COVID, right? So the guys grew way faster than they thought they were going to do. Shout out to Mike, Eric, Edwin, and Edgar, and Jama as well. But now growth was looking as opening at another location where they can stay and focus on their primary locations, but still have growth. And that's where their first franchise of the other franchise, Iron Valley, Norfolk, aka our place, opened up. But LJ was already in the building here. That's the thing. He's already shown that his systems, his processes, and everything works because he knows what the hell he's doing. Me, I was the outsider coming in looking for another place, but they knew who I was. They knew that I'm already killing it outside doing what I'm doing. So then when they wanted to marry the two systems together, I think LJ was probably all game for it. I was like, who the hell is this guy? I was like, I don't know you. I know of you. I know you do great, but I just don't know you. But one thing I also learned is I don't bring friends into business. I make friends in business. And I learned that a long time ago. And I love all my friends, but I also respect the relationships that I want to keep it to where it's at. That's a system in its own. The learning when to say no and learning when to say yes. So after a few weeks and months of talking, we decided to pull the trigger to start working together. And like you said, it doesn't happen overnight. Took months, took a lot of disclosures, a lot of back and forth, and boom, halfway through last year of 24, that's where the physical location actually opened, but it was months and months in the making. However, because we're able to take over in a positive route with kind of like just a lot of momentum already behind us, the systems that LJ really has created is night and day from what I've seen and what I was used to. And I learn from this guy every day. He has to buckle me down a lot of the times to really focus on what he's doing, but it all makes sense. But he stays up with the trends and what he's doing, but systematically, it's been ingrained in his brain for so long. It's like riding a bike to him, where with me, I have to take my tricycles off and do it. But once I know it, I slay. Don't get me wrong. But the system that he's developed and put in place and marrying it with the other systems that's already been created with Iron Valley, if we fail, it's on us, not because of the systems. I really would say that.
I love that.
And I mean, talk about what you've done and in place of that, because your systems, again, are giving you credit because you have to give your fucking self some credit. Yeah. You kill it on that.
Well, I think it's integration, really. I mean, everything that we do is, and we manage things, right? So I manage whether it's my calendar or Monday.com or, my CRM or whatever it is. And then we lead people. So probably the most challenging thing just in general for falling back down into the system is having the right people running said systems, and being able to pour into them so that they run the system. And we had a team leadership council yesterday for kind of the first time with all of the entities in the area and everything. It was like, hey, what's your system? What are you guys doing? This CRM, that CRM, all these different things. It's like, okay, what people are you struggling with and how do you get them to manage and do the things that you want them to do? So it's the best system is the one that works. But most of the time, it's the one that you put in your time in order to do so. Yeah, you can pull, I mean, there's a billion different calendars out there, right? Which calendar are you using?
Yeah.
Right? It's the one that you use. It's the one that you know, like, and trust.
Yep.
So before I even got here today, before I even started driving, I'd done everything for the brokers. It probably needs to be done for the entire day today.
Wow.
Because I had all the back end systems. I talked to my virtual assistant. I got my calendar going. I put a couple of tasks in place for not only my team members, but also some of the owners and leadership and people within the brokerage. Like, this is what needs to be done. I'm going to be MIA for the next hour.
Yeah.
There you go. When I get out of here, I'm going to go to a listing consultation for a past client. I'm going to talk to them. Then I'm going to come back and hear you and Coach Michael Burt talk.
Yeah.
So, you know, knowing that my calendar is laid out that way, okay, what do I have to do to make sure that everything is working?
Integration, man.
Yeah. What they were talking about, I think it was integration. You have creators, you have integrators, you have executors. Like, it's just about what is driving your business, because you need capital. We already talked about that. You need a product. You need a place to do it. And you need people. That's all you need for a business. That's it.
Love it, man.
The most difficult part for me, for any business, is the people. You have to have the right people. You have to have the ones that are motivated with that intrinsic motivation to believe in you.
Yeah.
They believe in you, not in the system. Nobody gives a shit about what system you're using. They care about who is running the system. Why is it working?
Yeah.
What is going on? What is making them succeed?
And are you executing it?
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, you have to execute the system. Guys, this has been an amazing conversation. I wish we had like another hour to talk, because I feel like this could be a longer episode. But I have one more question, and I would love for each of you to answer this. And we'll start with Julian. The show is called The Determined Society, right? And I built this show and built this brand on the heels of just the sheer wish that I could wake up every day in a society that was determined enough to go chase their dreams no matter how they felt emotionally. And that's what I stick to. That's what we are falling into that discipline, and we're executing that daily now. But what does determination mean to you?
Grit, never giving up, putting your best foot forward, not making excuses. We talked about our paying attention journey that we're on now before the show. And over the past 13, 14 months, whatever it's been, being down 40, almost 50 pounds and
Incredible.
Being on that game, understands that, you know, health is wealth. We've heard that our whole life, cliche statement, but it really is, dude.
Sure.
So I'm determined to stay in a physical state that will keep me at the level that I've built outside of my physical being. So that determination is going to be strictly based on showing up, doing what I say I'm going to do. Don't overpromise. Make sure you over-deliver and stay consistent.
I love it.
That's my main definition on that.
Love it, dude. Very good one. What about you, bud?
It's funny that you say that. Real funny that you say that, because just thinking about the word determined kicks me into what my 2025 like word for the year is, and it's forward.
Nice.
It's forward. We're going to keep going forward, and odds are we're going to get kicked back. Yeah, I mean, that's just what happens when you're trying to succeed. You fail. You were talking about it earlier. But if you keep going forward and you are determined as you are going forward, you're never going to fail.
Right.
Because when you fail, you quit.
Yep.
That's when you actually fail.
Yep.
Is when you quit.
Exactly.
So keep going forward means that you have to be determined in order to do so.
I love it.
Period.
It's very good. Well, guys, listen, you know, I've had an amazing time with you guys, and I'm so excited for the sales training that me and Coach Michael Burt are going to do. I'm excited for the event tonight. I'm excited for the big event tomorrow. This has been such an amazing experience for me. And I got here just yesterday. I'm truly starting to really understand what Michael and Tim Lewis have been talking about this whole time with just this community. Everybody is top notch. Everybody is focused on people, and everybody is disciplined. And to me, determination is about grit, but mostly it's about discipline, right? Like, what can I do every single day to keep going? And it doesn't have to be flashy, sexy, or just mean, like, oh, I'm determined. I'm, David Goggins. Let David Goggins and Andy Frisella and all them, Jocko, be them. But you guys out there, be you. And what does determination mean to you? I want you to think of that right now, because determination to you right now could mean you're in a depressed state, and you just getting out and walking 10, 15 minutes is determination. And I want you to give yourself that grace. And then as you get better and you put more habits in place, then the determination level switches. But the determination factor is just the amount of guts to keep moving forward when nobody's paying attention, when nobody is clapping, when you just feel like breaking down and crying, those are the moments you move forward. So again, I just want to thank you guys for coming on this show and giving the audience a massive amount of value and becoming new friends of mine. It means a lot. And man, I just appreciate it, John. I really do. High fives.
Cool. Thank you for your time.
You got it, man. Thank you. Until next time, guys, I want you to do one thing. I want you to share this episode with someone you feel needs to hear it. Don't forget to leave some comments on Spotify so I can go in there and reply back to you. And I would love to hear what you guys want me to talk about next. But until then, stay determined.
Shawn French, what up? This one luck, I let the pain inspire me. I put my all in everything I'm doing. Up until it's done, I'm me for the entirety. I put it in overtime, I be working. Just know I'ma go for mine, cause I earned it. They watching, I know it's time, I confirmed it. A whole society determined to show.